So this all sounds like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of raid party. Not that I've ever really played Dungeons and Dragons, but I would just imagine, you have a group of people you're collaborating with. Everyone has a specific role, and the music or the end result is the boss, right? Like that you're trying to like sort of like take down and chop away at bit by bit. And that kind of leads me to my next question of like, how do you choose your party, right? In terms of like the collaborators you go with, and do you set the roles up front, right? Before you guys, start on the project, just because you were talking about, being explicit with what roles you wanted, your preference would be what roles people take, right? And, how they can contribute, to the end project.
I think, how do you choose your party members? Who do you get along with? Who do you get along with goes a long way. As in vetting if like y'all can, if you the way you communicate they understand and vice versa, which sounds very robotic, but I'm neurodivergent and it comes up a lot more than you think, in terms of figuring out if our communication styles match, or if they can be in a place where they're not bad. They don't have to be great, but not bad. Figuring out what would be good for both parties to be similar and kind of the same or whatnot, and then figuring out what's good that it's different, right? Like in D&D, I'm a warrior. I would choose to, let's say, swipe my sword and like punch and just bloody knuckle everything I go through. That being said, there's a mission that involves taking care of a small bunny and its kin and escorting them home. Like I wouldn't want a bunch of warriors like like in that party to take them down. They might be rough with the bunnies. I probably would want like a medic who maybe I disagree with, or their methods I don't understand, but it's good. It's good for the overall mission, that they have different skills than me. Other ways I think about it too is like if I'm collaborating with people, it's like who's leading this situation. So if it's a show for me where I'm the one who's creating the band and I'm like, recruiting a bassist, a guitarist, a piano player, etc., then at that point I know that it's on me to tell people what I want and to be a little bit more forceful than I normally would be if it was a different situation. And what I mean by forceful is it's on me to drive to a degree, because the show is about me in some ways. Um, if I'm playing in somebody else's band, it's my job to know when to step back unless they explicitly want me to step up. Meaning it's their job, because the show is about them, to make the executive decisions, the creative choices, to kind of give the feedback and lead the group. In that role, I'm more of a backup, like a backup sort of, fighter. So, um, know who's leading and know when to step up and know when to step back, I think is the advice I'm giving there when you're thinking about how involved you want to get, in any project.